There's only 9 numbers in the universe. And in fact, it's even more simpler than that. Creator says that I'm going to take the 9 core creative frequencies and they're all going to be based on 3 numbers. 3, 6, and 9. That Nikola Tesla taught his students. Royal Raymond Rife, John Keeley. If humanity only knew the power of the 3, 6s, and 9s, it would be a completely different universe. This is the power of the 3, 6s, and 9s. This, what you're looking at, is Marco Rodin's work. It starts where you see, let's say you start at 1. You go 1 and 1 is 2, double the number. 2 and 2 is 4, you draw a line from 2 to 4. 4 and 4 is 8. 8 and 8 is 16, where 1 plus 6 is 7. That's what you do in ancient mystery school Pythagorean math.
Let's start from 1. Doubled it is 2. 2 doubled it is 4. 4 doubled is 8. 8 doubled is 16, which means 1 plus 6, that equals to 7. 16 doubled is 32, resulting in 3 plus 2 equals 5. So if we continue, we will keep following the same pattern. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, etc. over and over. As you can see, there is no mention of 3, 6, and 9. It's like they are beyond this pattern.
So we'll do it. 3 doubled is 6. 6 doubled is 12, which is 3. 12 doubled is 24, which is 6. 24 doubled is 48, which is 12, which is 3. Constantly oscillating.
In this pattern, there is no mention of 9. It's like 9 is beyond, completely free from both patterns. But if you start doubling 9, it will always result in 9.
Now take the multiples of 3, 6s, and 9s, and you see why Tesla said, and it wasn't just Tesla. Pythagoras, Vitruvius, Aristotle, Plato, all talked about the 3, 6s, 9s, and 8s. And the 8s. So they're special. That's essentially, there's 9 numbers in the universe, that's all. 10 is a man-made concept. Zeros are placeholders in the decimal system. It's not of God, it's not God's language. We're talking about the language of creation, the language of the Creator. Everything is made of God's footprint or signature, and that's what this is. This is Rodin's infinity pattern. He likens it to God's signature on everything. He starts right there, real simple, and then he goes into more complex analyses where he creates the matrix of the universe.
Which is the skin of the toroid, because here you have doubling down, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. Here you have doubling up, 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5. There's your 3, 9, 6, 6, 9, 3.
Okay.
This and those 2 ingredients. Those 2 ingredients make this.
And he put them on the board, and I'm looking, holy smoke, this guy's putting up the solfeggio frequencies. 396, 417, 528, 63, repeating in the matrix. And from this simple work, he developed the more complex toroid structure of the universe. So this is Rodin's toroid. Now, sitting in the audience is a fellow who you should definitely get to know. His name is Nassim Haramein. He said to Marco Rodin in this audience, he says, Marco, I appreciate your work. He says, but you don't have it quite right. You forgot polarity. What goes up must come down. There's a positive, there's a negative. He says it's not a single toroid. The real structure of the universe is a double toroid. And if you see his animation, well, it's spinning. You see it has a spinning, spiraling, and coming back to the beginning, just like a figure 8 does. Now you have just learned how come what goes around comes around. You just learned, as you sow, so shall you reap. You just learned that paying it forward is a great blessing to you. You just learned that giving is receiving. You just got shifted out of this whole ignorance, this paradigm of scarcity consciousness into the great abundance, the way the world really works.
I used to always wonder why those numbers stuck out to me the most, especially on the clock. And then I realized that all the angel numbers are also on a frequency of either 3, 6, or 9.
And here we have what I refer to as the alphabet of sacred geometry, and these are the simplest forms. We look at a circle, which is just a special case of an ellipse with eccentricity of 0. We've covered this already, so let's go right to the equilateral triangle, and we'll see it's 60, 60, and 60, which equals 180 degrees. Again, notice that we've got the number 9 recurring. We go to the square, which is 4 times 90 degrees. The total number of degrees defining the square is 360, the same as the circle, the same as the measure of a circle. And we measure the polygons by essentially measuring the angles of the vertices or the corners. So then likewise with the pentagon, each of the angles between successive edges is 108 degrees. So you multiply the 108 times 5 and you get 540. Again, notice, everything adds up to 9 for some strange reason. 108 is going to turn out to be a very important number. It's a lunar number, as you're going to see. 108, anybody know what metal has an atomic weight of silver? Atomic weight of 108? Yes, that's right, it's silver. Very good. All right, so let's get into some of the solid. Tetrahedron is this form right here, and it's composed of 4 of the equilateral triangles. So we have, as it says here, there's 4 triangular faces. 4 times 180 is 720 degrees. That is the total angular measure of this particular geometric form. This is known as one of the Platonic solids, or regular polyhedra. Polyhedra means multiple faces, and the regular polyhedra is the family of 5. There's only 5 that have the same shape or the same polygonal face. In this case, the equilateral triangle. And then we will move on to the cube, and the cube is 6 faces, and they're each square, and we saw that each of those square faces had 360 degrees, 6 times 360. The important thing is to grasp that the total number of degrees in this form is 2,160. 2,160, and we're going to find out that that number actually turns out to be pretty significant in the measure of other parts of time and space. Then we'll go to the octahedron, and it has 8 triangular faces. Then we have the icosahedron, which is 20 faces. In any case, there are 20 of these triangular faces. 20 times 180 is 3,600. So again, we have one of our 9s. And then our final is our dodecahedron. My favorite shape. This is what Plato referred to the dodecahedron as being the shape of the universe itself.
Oh, look, Maggie. What is that? Dodecahedron. Dodecahedron.
Gee, son, I don't know what you're doing, but it's very strange and your father's trying to worry.
Okay, each pentagonal face, as we found out, each edge was 108. 5 times 108 is 540. 12 times 540, as it says, is 6,480. So again, we've got the number 9 redundantly occurring over and over again in these measures. Oh, and then we have the star tetrahedron, which would be 2 tetrahedrons interlaced, and I don't have one of those today, but if you can picture a tetrahedron like this and then one like this interlaced, it gives you this, what's known as sometimes the star tetrahedron or the stellated octahedron. It is composed of 2 tetrahedrons, each of 720. So here again now you're seeing the repetition of this same number, 1,440, which was considered to be profoundly important to ancient cultures all over the world, who had various ways of representing this 4-fold division of cyclical time.
These shapes were studied in ancient times by the Egyptians, who passed the knowledge to the Greeks, where Pythagoras would study them, and later Plato, which is where we get the name Platonic. Each Platonic solid corresponds to a different element, and every element of the periodic table has a geometric relation to one of the Platonic solids. From the motion of atoms, to molecules, to viruses, to snowflakes, to the shape of sound, to the orbits of the planets in our solar system, everything stems from this basic geometric information system. And it all starts with spirit.